So in this video I'm going to show you how to link the 404 to the Deluge. The first thing you're going to need is two USB to TRS audio cables. I tried some MIDI to TRS converters, but actually I found they didn't work well. So I've got two of the official Boss branded ones. You connect the MIDI out to the MIDI in, and the MIDI in to the MIDI out, so they're on both devices. Then switch everything on. Now, something that's really important to do to make sure this works is to go into the settings on the 404 and make sure MIDI through is turned off. If MIDI through's on, it's turned off here, then you get a feedback loop and the whole system won't work. So you can see, you just select it to choose on or off and make sure MIDI through is off. So once that's all set up, you can start making it work. So there's two basic ways you can get MIDI out of the Deluge into something else. The first way is to create a new clip and press the MIDI button underneath the control panel to make it a MIDI clip. And the way it works is essentially you have a chromatic scale on the right, like a synth, and each note is a MIDI note. And what you can see here is I've turned off the scale mode, so it's chromatic. And if you find C1, which is at the bottom of the scale, that is the same as the bottom left pad on the 404. So you can choose the channel, you can input a pattern on the piano roll, press play, and there you go. It works. So that works pretty well, but I found that isn't the best way to do this, because what you end up with is a huge number of MIDI notes and tracks up and down in essentially what's a synth. So the easy way to do it is to go into a kit and you create a new kit, and then what you want to do is, holding down the audition pad like I've just done, press MIDI, and that turns the MIDI the kit channel into a MIDI track. And as you can see, when you're holding down the audition, the bottom dial chooses the MIDI channel and the top dial chooses the note that it plays. So on the 404, the MIDI channel relates to which bank and the note relates to which pad. So as you can see, by keeping it on MIDI channel 1, I'm choosing bank A, and choosing the note, I'm going from the different notes. So I'm just picking pads 13, 14, 15, which is the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat, and then you can just program in a pattern like that. I actually got the note wrong on that, so that's changing that really easily to get back to the pattern. And you program that in, and you can play, and it works great. So the other thing that you might want to do is use the 404 to input notes into the sequencer on the Deluge. This has got the advantages of being able to add velocity. So the way I'm doing this is I'm holding down learn and input on the Deluge, holding down the audition pad, and just tapping the pad that I want it to relate to. So when I press play and record, as I tap the 404 pads, it's inputting new notes into the sequencer on the Deluge. So it works both ways. You can use the Deluge as a sequencer, or you can use the 404 to input notes directly into the sequencer. And once it's there, you can do all the normal 404 things. The sound's all coming out of the 404. So you can put on effects, you can do all the things the 404 can do, make all the kind of noises that it can make that the Deluge can't. Those rich lo-fi effects, the great filters and cutoffs. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it useful. Thanks for watching.